The 2022 International HillClimb Cup Trieste Opicina is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, A-Stick Sim Sport, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to GTR 24H for the second round of the 2022 Virtual Hill Climb Championship. My name's Alex Goldschmidt. I'm the commentator for this evening. And following on from the opening round of the championship for this year back at St. Agatha in Austria last 2 weeks ago, we're now here in just off the Slovenian border at a little hill climb area known as Trieste Opicina in Italy, which ran as a hill climb circuit back between 1911 and 1971. But here, thanks to the wonders of modern technology, we can bring it back for you here as well. And also, there are plenty of races on the Hill Climb Championship still to come. In a couple of weeks' time, we will be heading over to Germany, followed back to Austria, then back to Germany. So plenty of hill climb action waiting in spades, and there's been quite a few incidents in this tight and twisty. I think it's around about 8.02 kilometres. So some of the drivers are really pushing, I mean, especially in the Acellas and the Normas in the E2 SCSS 3000 class. They're really upping the ante, and I've been seeing times of around about just a shade over 3 minutes. Sebastian Rona in the number 14 car in the Acela F830 has been the quickest out there, but we are waiting for the heat runs to get underway. Leo Huartz in the E3000 car. Currently the Norma M20 FC Zytek, number 150, heading towards the finish. Comes across the line. Currently second in group, Dennis Artenides in that lovely Alfa Romeo 75. Funnily enough, in the number 75 as well. There have been quite a few incidents during during practice a little bit earlier on, because we will be getting underway with the timed runs up the hill. For those new to hill climbing, thank you very much for joining us, and a very warm welcome here to GTR24H. You can go to our official live timing, which is timing.gtr24h.org, as Artenides' car decides to jump into the shadow realm, but plenty of drivers waiting and ready and primed to get going. There you can see the city of Trieste back in 1911, when the first hill climb here was actually organised. It was still part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and the first driver to win, Otto Hieronymus, in a Laurent and Clément car. The city had to actually wait until 1926 before the second edition was held. So a 15-year hiatus, by which point Trieste had become a part of Italy. So it has changed in terms of its country designation, and we are waiting quite patiently for the first cars to go out. We have multiple classes in here. We have the E2000, the E2 3000, the ESSH 3000, the E1 2000s, the E2 2000s, the Group H Specials, the E1 2000s, and yeah, we're probably going to have a lot of enticing action, but we are waiting. So with that in mind, we're going to go to a brief commercial break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments' time, and we'll be right back when the hill climb action starts here at Trieste Opicina.
The 2022 International Hill Climb Cup Trieste Opicina is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, A-Stick Sim Sport, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Well, welcome back to the second round of the 2022 Virtual Hill Climb Championship here on GTR 24H with myself, Alex Goldschmidt. We had St. Agatha a couple of weeks ago as the season opener for the 2022 season, but we need to start having a look through what is the lie of the land in the point standings coming into this second round here in Italy. Well, at the moment it is Team AMP, the duo of Oliver Toth and Andreas Pollebauer, that lead the standings on a combined 50 points. GSR team, the duo of Antonis Parapinopoulos and Valadis Karales in second position on 36 points. A point ahead of Javi Rodriguez and Yarav Hernandez in the JY Canary Island car. Team, and then it's RH Canary Island, HN Vargas and Roman Vieira. E-Alliance rounds out the top 5 positions on 30 points, level with the junior racing team. Saurus Racing, Equipe Regal, Alison Bersdorf Motorsport in 9th, ahead of Racing Team Blasel. PLFC, BH Canary Island, 27 Motorsport. Jorbart Team, Team Reunion, AC Schweinfurt, Swiss JPS team. Is that a little bit of a hark back to the old John Player special cars of the 1970s at Lotus, maybe, with Colin Chapman? Who knows? Autocrash.gr and Team Ghost Racing round out the 19 strong, with the bottom 3 teams yet to score points in the championship. But we come to the Category 2 standings in the ES SCSS 3000 class, and it is a French 1-2 at the moment. The number 14, Sebastien Ronat and Leo Hua round out are the top 2 drivers at the moment. Ronat on a maximum score of 25 points, Hua on 18. Mark Best from Canada rounds out the top 3 on 15 points, with Austria's Philipp Gärtner rounding out the top 4. No scores at the moment for Switzerland's François Carati and France's Patrick Fossé. Going to the ESSS 2000s, the Tatas Master of Andras Rossivali from Hungary. Rossival leads the way. Agios Andre from Switzerland, Pedro Barbosa from Portugal. They have all scored points. The top 3 covered by 10 points coming into this round here at Trieste Opicina. Then we go into the next class, which is the E2SH plus 3000. Spain's Javi Rodriguez leads the way in the BMW E30 Turbo, and it's an E30 Turbo 1-2. But this time, it's Greece's Valadis Karales in the 231 that is 7 points behind. Then it's a further 2 Greek drivers, the 85 of John Spider in the Mercedes 190E Auto, the 190E Judd. Now that is a bit of a leviathan on a hill climb course, I can tell you that much. And Nikos Dakinas, also from Greece in the 161 in the Mark II Escort, rounds out the top 4. Philotheus Giroux from Germany rounds out the top 5, ahead of John Kanepoulos. And then you've also got Vincent Tukola and John Papadoulos that also have yet to score points. The bottom 4 in that class yet to score points. We go to the E1 Category 1 2000s. Tobias Bershoff leads the way in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, ahead of 2 Ford Escort WRCs. Antonis Parinopoulos and Pedro Alvarez from Greece and Spain round out the top 3. Ludovic Calvé rounds out the top 4 in that class, ahead of Yere Hernandez from Spain. David Depré Josue Barroso, David Aguron, Frederick Tescher, Jose Alvarez, Pachalis Angelopoulos, also has scored points with Flormulo from France, the last of the drivers to score in that class. And then you go to the Group H specials. The likes of the Fiat X19 and the Opel Kadett GTEs are in full effect, and even a plucky Alfa Romeo 75. And it is an Austrian 1-2, and it's 4 Opel Kadetts that lead the standings in this class as well. Andreas Pollebauer in the 116, ahead of countryman Philipp Raab in the 145. They are separate, so 25 to Pollebauer, 18 to Raab. Galpar Soro from Spain in 3rd position. Mitko Hristov from in the number 44 car rounds out the top 4 positions. And then it's 2 Fiat X19s. Hector Rodriguez from Spain and Bruno Guedes from Portugal round out the top 6. Marcus Blasel from Austria in the next of the Opel Kadetts rounds out the top 7, has 6 points. Then it's Cyprus's Nikolaos Efstatitou, and then Badaico Alvarez from Spain. Then we have Louis Lacroix in the 282, Jürgen Dies in the BMW 2002 TII, and that was a production model on there as well. We've also got Denis Lopez from Portugal in the Alfa Romeo 75 and the 88, and Rudi Ullmann in the last of the Fiat X19s to score a point in this championship. And last but by no means least, and we're just about to go to Sebastian Hornat's run, but quickly the top 3 in the E1 2000s, Oliver Toth from Austria, Etienne Vargas and Ruman Vieira rounds out the top 3 in those, which are 2-litre cars. So we're going to head to Sebastian Hornat, who is first out on track. This particular hill climb is around 8 kilometres in length, and Sebastian Hornat earlier on was running in the low 3-minute 3s, high 3-minute 2s. So Sebastian Hornat is going to fly through this in the Acela 4th FA30. So in this class, the E3000s, we will have one Acela versus a plethora of Norma M20FC Zytek cars. So 4 out of the 6 cars that have entered this championship this season have gone through, and we're going to keep an eye on the sector times for Sebastian Hornat as he comes through. So Hornat at the moment, minutes in already, as Leo Hua now makes his way out onto the circuit, out onto the side itself. Sebastian Hornat now making his way through the tight and twisty turns, and Hornat will be the one that will be setting the pace. And sometimes when the track when the layout or the road course that they're running on here in the hill climbs, people known within hill climbing circles, 3-time World Touring Car Champion Andy Priaulx, and of course Charlie Martin, a big exponent in her own right. She was running in the Brit Car Endurance Cup in the Praga R1 this year. Also spent a lot of time over in France and Belgium and Switzerland piloting at some of the circuits, some of the locations that we've been at the moment. Sector 1 for Sebastian Hornat was a 1-minute 25.865. So about probably 2/3 of the way through. So next time we'll get the second sector indicator from Sebastian Hornat, and it's a pretty clean navigation by the French driver in the Acela FA30, the number 14 that leads the standings. A little bit of smoke coming from the right rear, and a lot of cheers coming in for people such as Mark Best from Canada. So we're going to get an indication very short of what Sebastian Hornat will do on a first time. It's just really interesting to see, as you can understand how quickly these cars are going, because we're going to have a picture-in-picture situation now, because Leo Hua has gone in and is already pretty much the best part of 80% through the run, I would think, because Sebastian Hornat waiting for a time to actually come up from Sebastian Horner at the moment, but Leo Huart absolutely flinging that car through the corners. So we're going to have so Sebastian Horner's time, a 3-minute 3.736, and so it's a quite short third sector here at Trieste Opicina. There's Philip Gärtner, currently fourth in the standings in the number 125 car, sideways, and a little bit of a touch with the curb on the left-hand side, so that's not going to help. Leo Huart, in the meantime, is running at about 205 kilometers an hour and increasing the speed as he goes through the 90 right. Slows down and it's just crossed the line. 3 minutes 6.356 for Leo Huart. So we'll get an understanding. And at the moment, Mark Best from Canada is on the move at the minute. He's just put in a 1 minute 27.7 in the first sector, 1 minute 10.9, so about 1.6 seconds off of the pace by Sebastian Horner at this juncture so far. And Mark Best is about to come to the finish, and 3 minutes 7.857 for the first run for the Canadian. Philip Gärtner now coming through as well. We are starting to see some of the other categories make their way up the hill. Include some of the E30 turbos. There's Philip Gärtner, and not that far away. The speed increasing to over 220 kilometers an hour before going into the 90 right there, but will cross the line momentarily. The speed increasing, the best part of over 250 kilometers an hour. And Philip Gärtner puts in a 3 minute 16.001, but a significant amount of time for the Austrian to find. But meanwhile, at the moment, the E2SH 3000s have already started making their way up the hill, which includes Javier Rodriguez in the 195, who's currently making his way up the hill at the moment. And then also got Valadis Corrales in the 231 E30 turbo, very reminiscent of the 1990s dominating car in the DTM, the mighty E30 M3 that was pulled from the DTM due to the fact of circumstances regarding technical regulations. So BMW pulled the plug, and then they returned nearly about 2 or so decades later, and then won the title on their first attempt. But Javier Rodriguez is just about to come towards the line, whereas Valadis Corrales has set the first lap time, or the first run time in the E2 SH3000 class. The 231 BMW E30 Turbo puts in a 3 minute 26.885. Javier Rodriguez, quickest in the first and second sector. Looks to be a good hill climb run for Javier Rodriguez as he pushes towards the finish line, and is just a few seconds away, but he's up by about 1.6 seconds in the first sector, 0.8 in the second sector, as we've then got the Tatus Master of Andres Roosevelt now making his way up the hill in the E2 2000. And I can see that Matteo Roland is cheering on Leo Huart, saying, represent, come on. That's the thing with you hill climb people. One thing you're going to learn about me over this broadcast is I speak 3 different languages, and 2 of them are well represented in this championship, apart from the one that I'm speaking at the moment. But Javier Rodriguez just waiting for a time to come up for Javi. Point yet, but waiting for everything to update, so bear with me for just a few moments. We're on board with Andras Roosevelt, and ahead will be the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9 of Germany's Tobias Bergdorf, who's leading this championship coming into this round. Well, who will be the next one to go up, and there is, as you can see on your screens, quite a few drivers that are trying to make their way up the order. But we have got, that's the 147 of Pararinopoulos. and rocking the old Ford Valvoline tribute livery back from the days when this car hit the WRC in the early to mid 1990s before the Ford Focus then replaced it. And Paradinopoulos doing a fantastic job just trying to get that car up the hill as quickly as possible. At the moment, Paradinopoulos doing a great job moving up the hill, and you're going to see, we've had a bit of an incident up the hill a little bit earlier on, and that looked to be Arjurio's had a bit of an incident going up the hill. That just goes to show that how close it can be to hitting the wall. That's not easy. When you're having to do, it's very narrow at the earlier part of this, and Paradinopoulos has just I think gone back to the paddock area. So the car is in there, and some of the cars are waiting in the paddock, ready to go up the hill. And the 27 car, that is Arjul, that is going up the hill at the moment, having had that altercation with the curbing a little bit earlier on in the run. So that's going to compromise the performance of the vehicle as it goes up the hill. This class, this will be the next opportunity for a benchmark time. Now, will the Opel GTE number 27 have a good run up the hill? First sector looks to be pretty good, a 1:40.0, but there is time to be found over the course of the runs here itself at Trieste Opicina. We have also got Pedro Alvarez in the next car up the hill, the number 32 car. That's from the E1 2000 class, making his way up the hill. You can just see how hard these cars are actually being pushed up the hill as such, and Josue Barroso is also making his way up the hill, and we've had a bit of an incident there for the car itself. Barroso collecting a little bit of the scenery on the right hand side, the 122. Oh, that was very close indeed to the virtual spectators on the course itself. So very, very lucky indeed for Josue Barroso, managing to keep out of trouble with that one, but I don't know what that's going to do to the handling of the car. The main purpose of the hill climb is to get up the hill as quickly as possible and not make any mistakes, as Ludovic Calvet is also making his way up the hill. The French driver in the 169 Lancer Evo 9, fourth in the championship in the class in the E1 2000s, is also going up the hill, as is David Desprez, currently running in 6th place in the championship on a total of 8 points after St. Agatha Bergrennen 2 weeks ago in Austria. The drivers moving up the hill. It's not an easy it's not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination to see how the drivers are going to cope with this very different hill climb run in comparison with what we had 2 weeks ago in Austria. But when you're running on road surfaces that are bumpy, abrasive, there'll be new tarmac down here, there'll be significant camber changes as well, and the drivers are pushing the pedal to the metal. As Barroso has had a little bit of another moment coming through, and that just shows you how hard the drivers are pushing. Desprez is also running very quickly indeed. Looks to be a little bit cleaner for the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9. And just seeing the amount of correction that you're having to do sometimes going through these corners, but also is pushing. As Desprez up in the... Oh, he's had a massive moment through the... I've just spotted, had a massive moment through the 90 right, which then brings them onto the final part of the hill climb run here at Trieste, Opicina. Hopefully we'll get an indication of how much time Josue Barroso has lost. Sector 2 is a 1 minute 24.192, just under I think 1.9 seconds adrift. And the car is headed through the 90 right, which Desprez got caught out by just a few seconds ago. But Barroso will now start pushing for the last sector, very short final sector here at Trieste Opicina. But also doing a very good job there to trying to keep it on the straight and narrow, but having a couple of moments in the meantime. The 137 car is now out on there. Another of the it's 5 Lancer Evo. It's just ripped off the rear bumper of that car, coming through that sweeping right-hander. And Barroso actually, it wasn't Barroso, it's Aguron. I'm just wondering if that car has returned to the paddock, and that looks to be the case. So one run not completed by one of the E1 2000 class cars. So unfortunately, Aguron having a bit of a drama there. The back end stepped out to the left-hand side. Now we have Andreas Pollebauer in the Opel Kadett GTE. Now this is the first of the Group H, one of the first of the Group H special cars out on the hill climb assault here, and is making it look rather effortless in the numbers 116. With a light blue livery on that car, accentuating it. A little bit of a bump over the curb a second ago, but Pollebauer doing a very, very good job, just trying to keep it as nice and neat and tidy as possible. Use minimal steering correction as required. Very soon, hopefully Pollebauer will be heading up to the 90 right, which he does now. Nice and neatly turns it in, accelerates out of the corner. And able to stretch the legs on that engine as well. And so hopefully we'll get an indication of his time very shortly as he's crossed the line. And it's a 3 minute 46.049 for the Austrian. And Galbarsoro is now out there as well. And he's about less than a second behind Pollebauer, who's the first one to register. Mitko Christoph is also out there in the third of the cadets. Galbarsoro has just gone across the line, 3 minute 47.180. Good evening, Mark Best. Yes, my name's Alex Goldschmidt, one of the regulars here on GTR 24H, so good to have you with us. So that's really nice to hear from someone actually saying hi to someone in the commentary position for a change, which is really, really good. We do get that from a few of our drivers in other championships. Of course, we've got the next round of the Assetto Corsa Competizione Season 2 Sprint Series with Yusuf Bin Sahal and Kieran McGinley this coming Thursday at the Hungaroring. Mitko Christoph is probably making his way through into... Well, Philip Raab has just got a bit banzai and then some through a right-hand sweeper in the early parts of there as well. I think Christoph has Christoph has not recorded a run, but Philip Raab is out there because there was a massive crash for Mitko Christoph in the 44, and that Opel Kadett GTE has been. No, actually, my apologies. It was Jürgen Strag. Yeah, it was. Hang on a second. I'm going to get my surnames right here. It's one of the Hondas. It's Jürgen Strasegger that has crashed out significantly badly in the 196, and he's ripped off the left front wheel in the process, and it's gone on its roof. So Jürgen Strasegger not able to record a first run up the hill. So Philip Raab was 0.102 behind Andreas Pollebauer, and 1 minute 45.175 for Philip Raab, who is making his way towards. So the second sector that was set by Andreas Pollebauer was a 1 minute 26.574, as Philip Raab getting completely all kinds of sideways, trying to wrestle the back end of that Opel Kadett GTE 145. Out as there is, I think that's one of the Escort Mark IIs that has just come out onto the hill climb. No, actually, that's Mitko Christoph in the fourth Opel Kadett GTE that's going up the hill. And again, Philip Raab is having to control this wayward back end of this car, and he's actually catching a car in front, and that is the... funny enough, that looks to be... I think that is the Corrado R, if memory serves me correctly. I'm just trying to remember the driver who is running in that vehicle. That's Oliver Toth. And you can just see how close it is getting, because the way that Kadett is catching up with a Scirocco, and this is going into the 90 right, as Oliver Toth has just stopped. Philip Raab put in a 1 minute 28.2 in the second sector. He's had to slow down a little bit because Oliver Toth in the Volkswagen Corrado R, the Corrado never actually had an R derivative in its running as a road vehicle. But yeah, that just goes to show. And Philip Raab, 3 minutes, that cost him major time. 3 minute 48.364 for Philip Raab, second in the championship coming into this round. A very good evening to you as well, Distilled Dew Gamecast. Very much appreciated for your wonderful comment there as well, saying thank you for the commentary. Okay, so this is Blazel's crash that we're going to have a look at. Oh, front bumper ripped off and back into the paddock you go, and that car is going to need the mechanical equivalent of a chiropractor after that front end accrochage, as they say. But Mitko Christoph 1 minute was about a second off of Andreas Pollebauer in the first sector, 2.2 seconds off in sector 2. Locks up the right rear going through the 90 right. Now it's the opportunity to stretch the legs on the Opel Kadett GTE. And at the moment, Pollebauer leading the Group H Special Class. And it's a run towards the finish. He's already passed, and Mitko Christoph in the number 44 Opel Kadett GTE, fourth in Group H Special. 3 minute 49.61, so Andreas Pollebauer still leading the way. Now you've got the Maxi, Peugeot 306 Maxi of Adan Pimienta. Another one of the E1 2000s. We've already seen Strasegger have a massive moment earlier on and ripping off the wheel. off that car. Already, Oliver Toth at the moment is leading the class with a 4 minutes 8.071. Jürgen Strasegger has not set a lap time run time because of that massive crash with the 196 Honda Civic Type R. TCR suffered later on in the run. Achen Vargas, no lap time, nothing set yet. Other cars, we've got the. Funny enough, we've got Adrian Varela and Pablo Suarez also in the E1 2000 classes. So the number 35 car is running a Fiat Punto HC, as is Adrian Varela, with Pablo Suarez also running in a Corrado R. So there are 3 cars that were in. Pimienta had a massive moment there, and luckily enough caught it on the way through and kept it out of the barriers. Just keep your eyes on this one. Through the sweeper, through into the right, hits the curb, and this is where it goes wrong. All tangles with a little bit of curbing and a little bit of a post. There has been a massive roll in the meantime as we saw that, and was that one of the Opel Cadets? I think that might have been one of the Group H specials that I might have seen just then, because someone had a massive off in an Opel Cadet. Massive off. So I think if that was possibly, that might have been Mitko Hristov going out for a second run. But there is a car that's just had a massive moment as well. There's another car. There all seems to be a bit of flotsam and jetsam here at Trieste Opicina here tonight on the second round of the 2022. And that was Adrian Varela, I believe, in the number 8 car, that in the number 215. Funnily enough, yeah, in the Punto HC, yeah, that front bumper's completely askew. Adam Pimienta having a massive clean-up on aisle 3 operation required. New Nomex, please, after that massive sideways moment for the number 138 Peugeot 306 Maxi. Just keeping an eye on other cars that are out there as well. There's quite a few people up trying to do race going up there at the moment. Jürgen Dies I've just seen in the BMW 2002 TII. The number 48 car is up, is going up there as well. Oscar Pastor is up there as well, and there is Jürgen Dies in the number 48 car. You know what, I do love a bit of BMW. Really good to see a car like that represented. Sometimes you see them with big, huge, great, ginormous wings. And at the moment, Pimienta, so Oliver Toth, is the clear leader so far in the E1 2000 class. And Pimienta goes top, 3 minute 57.3. Nicely done, despite the biggest code brown I think I've seen in a very long time. So Pimienta puts it top of the timesheets. Also got the 180 Clio of Pedro Rebello running in the E1 S2000 class. And looks to be about the majority of the way up the hill. It's not an easy thing to do. Martinidis has ripped off the front bumper of the number 75 Alfa Romeo, and that car has placed 8th in class, 4 minutes 22 on the clock. Nelson Inacio and Pedro Rebello going up. Yep. Mark Best has definitely got the understanding of my meaning of the words code brown. Thank you very much indeed, Mark. It's an all customary trait we use here in sim racing terminology, and it is very much the case a technical term. A bit like me saying clean up on aisle 3. But there we go, never mind, I digress. However, Pedro Rebello is done a 150.6 in the first sector, 1 minute 37.9 in sector 2, and is about to hit the 4 minute mark. So we're going to see how the Renault Clio gets on through into the 90 right. The car has already gone, and it's down this long straightaway towards the finish line. And we're going to get an idea of the time momentarily once I wait for the timing to update. And good to see Bruno Guedes with the Alitalia livery on the Fiat X19. And really good to see a car like this. I've actually driven one of these in real life, not a rally, not a hill climb specific car, but it's really good to see. You know, the Fiat X19. It was the precursor to cars like the Toyota MR2. Where you had a minimal amount of luggage in the front, you had a mid-engine car, and it was rear-wheel drive. And the good thing is that seeing these cars roaring around this hill climb track brings fond memories back for yours truly here on commentary. So the X19s are competing in the Group H Special class. So we've got Hector Rodriguez in one of them, which will probably be the number 12 car, as Bruno Guedes has come through and has gone 4th in class, not that far behind Philippe Raab. So the X19's putting a bit of the frighteners on the Opel Cadets. So Bruno Guedes has broken the deadlock. Hector Rodriguez in the number 12 car, which will be running in the wonderful Martini livery. And I like Mark Best's response to me talking about Code Brown. He says, "It can happen, hope it doesn't to me. Mark, I've got one thing to do for you, my good friend, my good friend from Canada. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. You need a 4-leaf clover in your pocket as well for that one." But Hector Rodriguez now heading into the 90 right. Nice and neatly done on the apex for the number 12. Martini liveried Fiat X19 goes through the left-hand kink and now powers away towards the finish line here at Trieste Opicina. Looked pretty good in the first 2 sectors and goes 6th on a 3-minute 55.993. So we'll also have a few other cars going up the hill, and at the minute we have got one of the single-seater cars up the hill. That is Pedro Barbosa. And Barbosa, that will be in the E2SS 2000s. So Barbosa at the moment. Rossival leads the way on a 3-minute 32.364. Bit of a slow first sector for Pedro Barbosa, a 2-minute .847. And that car, that's no wonder. He's just had a massive incident with the wall because that car had absolutely no front wing. That equates to the fact that there is no downforce on the front of that vehicle, which is why when he went through a right-hander, the car did not oblige. Dennis Lopez in the number 88 Alfa Romeo, going through towards the end of the stint on this one, and let's see what the time was for the other Alfa Romeo. I'm just going to have a quick look down the times. Bear with me on that one. We've got Pedro Barbosa has just rolled it. That is definitely not what you want to have on there, but then we head over to the 161. That's Nikos Dakinas. And if anyone's wondering why I'm saying D instead of TS, TS is effectively D in Greek. I've got a good friend from Athens who taught me that quite quickly, and Dakinas has just had the massive monsters of lockup right there. So yeah, Dakinas definitely had to hit the brake pedal rather hard there. But now powers out of the right-hander at 90 right just a few seconds ago, and now puts that Escort Mark II across towards the finish line. And Dakinas is the 4th car that has crossed over that line, and time is going to be reflective. That was a 3-minute 41.2. So a lot of things happening as we've got another of the 3:06 maxis out on the hill climb, and that is Vasilis Ioannidis in the number 174. No, that's David Parisot, my apologies there, from France, running in the French tricolore style colours. So Parisot will be running in the E1 2000 class, and at the moment has yet to go through the first sector. Pablo Suarez is also out up the hill climb at the minute in the 167 Corrado R. At the moment, Adam Pimienta is the one to beat with a 3-minute 57.311. Whether that's going to be the case if Parisot does anything about it, because very soon they will cross first intermediate, and Parisot has gone off big time. That is, that's gone off to the shadow realm there, and straight away it's a return to paddock. So unfortunately Parisot on the first, and you're going to see it right here, something else going on as well. This is one of the escorts, I believe. That's the 161. And that, yeah, that was earlier on. Yeah, so from that perspective, you can just see how quickly things can change on a hill climb. As I said, it's about not making mistakes, and if you have an issue where you either whack a curb or you hit a little post, it offsets the balance of the car is not going to respond with you accordingly. So that just goes to show how hard these drivers are pushing. And this particular hill climb here at Trieste Opicina, in operation for the best part of 6 decades, didn't get running for, I think got running for about the best part of it, probably about 45, 44 years. Funnily enough, the last one that was held in 1971 actually didn't officially have any official records counted against it, because it was held in the rain, and that is a very different proposition altogether. Now we turn our attention to one of the, the sole Cypriot representative, and that is in the Group H Special, number 77. And that is Nikolaos Evstatitou in the number 77, who's currently up the hill at the moment as we speak. Opel Kadett GTE. We'll see how the car gets on, but at the moment the group in that particular class, Group H Special, it's still Andreas Pelabauer that still leads the way, and it is an Opel Kadett GT 123 with Galpasoro and Philip Raab rounding out the top 3. Then it's Bruno Guedes rounding out the top 4 in the first of 2 Fiat X19s with Hector Rodriguez. Dennis Lopez actually set a brilliant time in the Alfa Romeo, the number 88 car. Put in a 3-minute 58.753. So the top 6 cars have made it through underneath the 4-minute barrier here at Trieste Opicina. Evstatitou getting had a little bit of a moment there, hit the brakes, and then the car wanted to turn one way, he wanted to turn the other, so front end not agreeing with back end there, I'm afraid, but however, it's back up to full speed, managing to push that car forward. And then we've got the 1, 2, 3 entry, that is Paschalis Angelo Polopoulos. This is really funny, the amount of times. Right, okay. Pedro Barbosa said, clip the sand with the rear right tyre and spun. Right, okay. That's probably, is that why the front wing was missing from the car? That would probably explain a lot there. So if you have a spin as Angelopoulos going a bit sideways, heading through into the 90 right. as we go back to Statito. There. They're going through the sweeping corners now as the Opel Cadet GT up the hill and Angelopoulos into the paddock, unfortunately, so that round does not count, I'm afraid. No time set. This for me is a bit of experience with regards to understanding a bit more about HillClimb. I've always watched it, never had the opportunity to commentate on it until now here on GTR 24H, and I'll be completely honest with you, I'm actually enjoying seeing all. I was speaking to Peter Moncon, our head of broadcast, and he said, you're going to love all this because it's all these classic cars, all these retro cars, and you know what? I still remember having die-cast like miniature models of, like, say, the Opel Cadet, the BMW 2002 TII. So for me, this is absolute nirvana right now. As much as I love modern-day racing, you can't beat a bit of old retro workhorses going up the hill. And looks like Estatiu has gone up into 7th position with that time, and pretty good one there, 3 minute 58.1. So another car that makes it into the sub 4 minute bracket in Group H Special. So the top 7 cars. Yeah, Mark, to be honest with you, I got the opportunity to commentate at Shelsley Walsh. I was unavailable that weekend. I've seen the Goodwood HillClimb, and seeing the shootout there as well. It's, I think, one of the most iconic hill climbs for me, Pikes Peak. You know, like literally the amounts of people that have gone up there. Michel Mouton, you know, at one point in an Audi S1 World Quattro Pikes Peak edition, went up there and set the best ever lap time at a hill climb run up there. One of my friends over in the US, Rob Holland, has also gone up, done hill climbs. Travis Pastrana's done hill climbs as well. Yeah, I mean, hill climb and rally, they're two different distilled U game codes. Basically, hill climb is fun. It's you against the clock. So Allman getting very, very sideways with the back end of that X19. We've also got the 131 Fiat, and that was very that's a great little bit of a slow-mo there, but then the back end steps out. Oh, that car's not had a great time. It's had a bit of an argument and a bit of argy-bargy with that wall there as the 131 Fiat 131. So, yeah, came out on the wrong end of the stick, so to speak. So that just goes to show how difficult it is. And that's Victor Cabello in that car. And I don't think Victor's having the best time at this particular moment. So we've got the 167 Corrado R going up the hill now as well. That's Pablo Suarez. And Pablo has yet to set a time on a run up the hill, but is about 7 seconds down off of the So Suarez is trying to thank you, Racing and Simulations Games. I thought it was D. My it's CH like chat. Okay. Well, my apologies there. It just goes to show I thought it was one of my friends had told me, and he's from Greece, so I might have to give him a slap the next time I see him. But Pablo Suarez has just completed his run. He's gone P6, 4 minute 8.149. So massive moment there for the 131 again, and the front is completely rearranged, and the exhaust is smoking heavily. And yeah, it just goes to show that's not a healthy Fiat right there. And oh my goodness me, that's one very wounded Fiat running towards the finish line. And Victor Cabello is not... I have to give Victor Cabello all the credit in the world for that, for getting it across the line. And I think with that moment in mind, we're going to go to a brief commercial break here on GTR 24H as round 2 of the 2022 Virtual Hill Climb Championship here at Trieste Opicina continues.
The 2022 International HillClimb Cup Trieste Opicina is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, A-Stick Sim Sport, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Welcome back to GTR 24H, and thank you very much for rejoining us for the continuing coverage of the second round of the 2022 Virtual Hill Climb Championship, this time being stationed at Trieste Opicina, just off the Slovenian border in northern Italy, originally part of the Austrian-Hungarian locality back in the 1910s, but we've already had quite a bit of drama earlier on in the first set of runs up the hill here. Looks like there's a little bit of a discussion in the chat happening between Leo Ha and Matteo Roland. I think you might want to keep it between yourselves, guys, but we go back out on track. And Sebastian Horner who was quickest in this class in the first set of runs earlier on this evening. The E2SCSS 3000 is now making its way up the hill. Just under 3 minutes and 5 seconds, if memory serves me correctly, from the first run. But let's see if we can go roadside and give you the full picture as it's unbridled here at Trieste Opicina. So Mark Best looks to also be out at the minute. And here's the onboard. You can just see how quickly the turns keep on coming here at this just over 8 kilometre hill climb run, and how close the walls and the local scenery are to the car itself. That is Mark Best, that is also on a run at the moment, and he's currently P3 at the moment. Sebastian Horner, 1 minute 25.380 in the first sector. As Leo Hua also up the hill at the moment, but Hua was not able to depose Horner in the first session. There we go, picture, in picture, in picture, and also little old me down at the bottom. Leo Hua will hopefully come across the first time being 1 minute 27.783, so is 2.4 seconds down off of Sebastian Horner. He is further accelerating up the course, pushing speeds in excess of 250 kilometres an hour at some points during the 8 kilometre ascent up the hill. Very soon, Horner in the number 14 Azella will come across the second timing beam to complete the second sector. And it's about 30 seconds for the final sector here on this 8 kilometre course. Mark Best, 1 minute 28.6 flat on the first sector for the Canadian in the 160 Norma M20 FC Zytek. And it's a 1 minute 9.256 for Sebastian Horner in the second sector. This looks to be another good hill climb run up by the Frenchman in the number 14. And the speeds are increasing as Horner pushes it towards the finish line, and across the line he goes. 3 minute 3.324 from Sebastian Horner, the fastest run of tonight's event so far. Leo Hua will be is now about to head into the 90 right, flames spitting from the right-hand exhaust on the Norma M20 FC Zytek, the number 150. And the speed is increasing, pushing the best part of well over 250 kph. Leo Hua about to cross the line and does so, and it is a 3 minute 6.730. Mark Best, 1 minute 11.3 through sector 2. And so it looks like Mark Best's hill climb run time this time around could be invalidated because he had a cut track in the first sector. That will invalidate it surely. Mark Best crosses the line. Actually, it still puts up a run time there. 3 minute 9.391 for the Canadian in the number 160. And now the car returns to the garage. Let's see who else. So that is the 195 car going up the hill. That is the BMW E30 E2 SH3000. So that is Javier Rodriguez in the 195. Sector 1 has just put in a 1 minute 34.284. Valadez Corrales in the other E30 Turbo, the 231, has put in a 135.8 in the first sector. So Rodriguez going a little bit sideways, a little bit of tyre smoke coming up, and a little bit of Munich moment for the back end of the car to step out to the left-hand side whilst Javier Rodriguez was turning the car right. As we've also got, that is Corrales, who's just gone purple in Sector 2, a 1 minute 19.245, as the 231 BMW E30 Turbo crosses the line. What's the time going to be? It is a 3 minute 26.152, but Javier Rodriguez has gone faster by, get this, nearly a second quicker than Corrales in sector number 2, and now comes through the 90 right, drifting it sideways to the left, does the Spaniard, and now through the sweeping left and heading towards the line, the 195, Javier Rodriguez will cross it. It is going to be the best time of the evening in this particular effort, and he's just gone nearly 3 seconds faster at that particular moment. And now we head to the other ES 2000, the SS class. András Rossival and André Agios are currently out at the moment. Rossival has just put in a 1 minute 37.135 in the Tatus Master car. So we have either the Tatus Master or the Dallara F312. The F312 was in use in championships such as the FIA Formula 3 European Championship, with the likes of Max Verstappen, Esteban Ocon, Felix Rosenqvist, Lucas Auer, amongst others. We've also got Tobias Beersdorf up the hill at the moment in the E1 2000, and that is one of the C1 Plus 2000, and he currently has gone through sector 1 on a 1 minute 36.6. Right, okay, he's just gone in and returned to the paddock. Paparinopoulos in the number 147 Escort WRC is very soon going to be crossing the first timing beam. Well, it's actually coming across the line as we speak. Waiting for the timing to update from my perspective. Paparinopoulos has gone across the line, goes P2 on that particular occasion, with Pedro Alvarez in the number 32 Escort WRC now also going up the hill. So Pedro Alvarez hoping for a better run this time up the hill, this 8-kilometre course. So, oh no, that's not what you want to do there. Taking out road signs and, oh, thank goodness, missing the virtual spectators there. That was nearly another Mamma Mia moment right now, and I think that term is rather appropriate considering where we are at the minute. And again, locks up into the 90 right. Oh, Alvarez pushing the limits of adhesion now through the sweeping left-hander and will go across the line. Just get an idea of the lap time from Pedro Alvarez. So very shortly crosses the line now and goes into the slowdown area and goes P3, 3 minutes 37.3 there. As we've got Agios Andre behind the wheel of the Dallara F312 number 66. Making some hay up the hill. And now is about to come across the line because András Rossival is leading on a 3 minute 33.0. And that's, oh my goodness, was that that was Calvé going a bit, lock up, and nearly hit the tyre barriers whilst you're at it. So Ludovic Calvé in the number 169 Lancer Evo 9, having a massive moment there. Nearly hit the bales, but luckily got away with that one. That's in the E1 Plus 2000 category. And has gone P3 in the class, a 3 minute 34.085. despite that moment. And Jose Alvarez, the number 67 car, the Ford Escort WRC, goes up to P4. Now we've also got David Desprez from Belgium in the number 221 Lancer Evo 9. And it's just gone through the 90 right, so the 2-litre inline 4 turbocharged engine now hurtles its way towards the finish line here at this just over 8-kilometre hill climb run, and goes over it at full racing speed, and now will have to hit the brake, well, decides not to hit the brakes and hits the escape button. Goes P5 in the E1 Plus 2000 class, 3 minute 36.519. Really good effort from Desprez, but that car was at full throttle going across the finish line. And also, good to have, this is Chris Bennett up the hill now in the number 9 Tatus Master car. So, Pedro Alvarez yet to set a second run time up the hill. Chris Bennett is about 4.5 seconds off of the best time in Sector 1, set by Andras Rossival. We'll see if Chris has anything to say in the second sector. Can he get a little bit closer in terms of the interval? We'll find that out momentarily. Chris, a no scorer at the opening round at St. Agatha, Bergren, 2 weeks ago in Austria. And, oh, bit of a bump over the curb for the number 9. Manages to get through. Yeah, he literally went a little bit skyward when I had a quick look at Chris going over the curb. He's into the 90 right. And Chris has just put, he's got that gap down. He's just under 2 seconds behind in Sector 2. He's about to come across the finish line here at Trieste, Opicina. Across the line he goes. That puts him. That puts him P3 on a 3 minute 40.351. Got the 122 car now going up the hill. Josue Barroso from Spain. Just gone across the line. Looks like he's gone P5 in class on a 3 minute 35.539, 359. Quite a few cars going up this hill this evening. There's one of the Punto HCs trying to make its way out of the paddock and we're going sideways. So someone's pulled on the handbrake in that one. Now we head back to Andreas Pollerbauer, who is very much the quickest out there at the moment in the Group H Special class, number 116 Opel Kadett GTE. It's always quite funny when you see these cars when they are prepared for hill climb action. There's a big wing on the back of it, a massive front splitter, and then you've got a whopping great diffuser that hides the you know, the significantly noisy exhaust at the back, because there will be noise restrictions, but they'll be at the point where the noise restrictions aren't as fastidious as road legal vehicles. But Pollerbauer has put in a 1 minute 44.553, less than 3/10 down off of his best Sector 1 of the evening. So Andreas Pollerbauer set the fastest fastest run in Group H earlier on this evening. Locks up a little bit going into had a couple of lockups, but into the 90 right going on to the last part of the course here at Trieste Opicina. Get an indication. and he was pretty much gone. The second sector for Polibauer is exactly the same, and he's crossed the line already. He set his climb run time, and it was a 3-minute 45.2. But Galparazo has done the all-time personal best first sector of anybody, 1 minute 44.293. So the number 130 from Spain, third in the championship standings coming into this second round after the opening round 2 weeks ago, is looking to put the frighteners on the Austrian. And not just Polibauer, but also Philipp Raab in the 145. So now we're going to get an indication of how much quicker Galparazo will be. He's put in a 1 minute to 20. He's 1.1 seconds down in sector number 2 was the Spanish driver. Philipp Raab is now already out on the hill climb assault and is currently nearly a minute into his run here, as Galparazo now heading towards the line, and it's a 3-minute 46.4. 1.2 seconds off. Now Philipp Raab could split the pair of them once again. He gets the opportunity. So Philipp Raab, Mitko Hristov is now out onto the hill as well. Number 44. Hristov running 4th in the championship, coming into this particular round here in Italy, in the northern part of Italy, I might add. And Mitko Hristov is also moving up the hill as quickly as we can probably fathom. But Polibauer has not been denied. Galparazo Basoro came close in that second run and was the fastest of anybody in the first sector in the whole event so far. But Philipp Raab, 1 minute 45.375, so is a further 1.082 seconds off of Galparazo on that particular moment. But can the Austrian make up time in the second and third sectors? He's got to thread the eye of the needle here, has Philipp Raab, but will that be enough? He's got to have more than just the performance of the car. He's got to throw caution to the wind up the hill, get as near as inch perfect or millimeter perfect, as close to the hill, as close to the walls that he can. But on that particular occasion, as you just saw a couple of seconds ago, he went through that left-hander, and the back end stepped out to the right-hand side. That's what you don't want happening. If it was a drift competition, he'd be fine. On a hill climb competition, it's about millimetre perfect precision. Looks a little bit neater and tidier. He's very shortly going to come through the second intermediate, because there has been a moment for one of the cars, and that is Blasel again. Blasel's having massive dramas this evening. So Blasel not having a great run this evening at all. Markus Blasel, the Austrian, down in 7th position. And the Opel Cadet, again, not having a good one in the office. Philipp Raab, 1 minute 28.074 in the second sector. 1.9, well, that was the best part of nearly 1.9 seconds off the best efforts of one Andreas Polibauer. But can Philipp Raab keep himself in contention for third place this evening? Well, he's not that far away, because he's now coming down towards the finish line here at this 8.020 kilometre hill climb run here at Trieste, Opicina. He goes across the line. He stays third, 3 minute 47.724. Meanwhile, Mitko Hristov at the moment in the number 44. Opel Cadet GT up the hill has already gone through sectors 1 and 2 and is about to hit the 90 right before the blast down towards the finish line. Locks up the right-hand side going into the 90 right. A 1 minute 45.583, so just over 2/10 slower than Philipp Raab. Nominally slower than Philipp Raab in the second sector, a 1 minute 28.115 versus 1 minute 28.074, and it is a 3 minute 48.442. Philipp Raab, interestingly enough, on that second run was the quickest out of anybody, a 34.275. But he clawed back a little bit of time. he could have had a bit more of a worse off moment. But Oscar Pastor now going up the hill in the Simca Rally 3 prototype 105. And has put in a 1 minute 49.234. Damos Salonika in the Ford Escort RS Mark 1 number 42 has also gone through the first sector, 1 minute 54.855. There are a significant amount of cars actually competing here at Trieste Opicina, very much loved by Austrian and German drivers because of its vicinity to North and South Tyrol in Austria, and also Bavaria in Germany as well. And Oscar Pastor goes P5, 3 minute 57.789. Expect that time to drop down. Adan Pimienta now is out on the hill climb and is in the E1 2000. At the moment, Oliver Toth leading that on a 3 minute 49.662. Here comes a replay here. Now this is the Mark 1 Escort, and the number 42, up on the curves, and it's going to smack the wall. Not how Damos Salonika wanted to end that run, and that car is back in the paddock. Massive moment for the number 42 Escort RS Mark 1, but Pimienta in the 306 Maxi has put in a first sector of a 1 minute 47.972. Personal best sector of the moment. At the minute it is a 1 minute 29.096. That is currently set by Oliver Toth in the 210 Corrado R. Jürgen Strasegger this time around managed to get it fully up the hill, and the Honda Type R TCL 196 put in a 3 minute 50.739. Adrian Varela is currently sitting in third position on a 4 minute 2.949, as Pimenta is going to be looking to get up the hill a little bit quicker this time. The back end snaking from left to right, but he goes through the 90 right, and that was a little bit earlier on in the course. So Pimienta now making his way down in the 306 Maxi, the number 138, making its way through towards the finish line on this second run here at the circuit. Pimienta comes across the line. And has gone third. Nicely done there, and that's a 3 minute 53.901. He was 4 and a bit seconds off, but Pedro Alvarez in the 208 is also heading up the hill. We've got a moment there for one. That is the number 75 Alfa Romeo. Dennis Artanides again in the mire. Clobbers the metal. Oh my god. That was Alvarez. Alvarez having the big, I'm going to say this for the benefit of Mark Best, the 208 Opel had a massive code brown right there. Alvarez stumbling all over the place. Luckily enough, we're going to have a look now at a replay of something that could be infinitely worse, and this is one of the 306 Maxis. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on what's going to happen here, and this 306 Maxi, that could be poor Hansel possibly. Just stacks it in. I think that was poor Hansel. Not too sure. Or Ignacio. That's the thing. Ignacio having a massive moment, and you can see when it was brought back to the paddock, the front end was missing said bumper. So all the intercooler and the radiator, they're bare naked for everybody to see. Rebello, in the meantime, has crossed the line as well. The Clio has gone up into 4th place. Nice work by the 180, a 4 minute 2.064. We've got the number 88 Alfa Romeo, this time Denis Lopez from Portugal, currently running in 16th position. Mark Best has come up after me mentioning Code Brown twice. We need Depends Undergarments as a sponsor on this event. I think we need to get in contact with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Mark Best, and ask for Under Armour instead. You'll probably still feel cool afterwards. having a Code Brown moment. But also we've got the X19 out at the minute, and that is the Alitalia number 19 car. Bruno Guedes, who's just crossed the line. Goes P5, nice work there. 3-minute 49.756. And then we head back to the number 88 Alfa Romeo 75 in the Group H Specials once again. And going to see how that gets on. And also the good thing is that Dennis Lopez had a good run previously. Did a 1-minute 49.3 in the first sector, and that's 5 seconds off of the best lap time by Olibauer from Austria. However, the Alfa Romeo 75, no slouch at all. And a good second sector from the number 88, 1-minute 32.853. Now that's quicker than the likes of Jürgen Dies, Dennis Arsenaidis, Damos Salonika as well. So Dennis Lopez is making his way through the left-hander and will now go across the line. So where is number 88 going to factor in? It's going to be a close one if he's going to get towards the 4-minute barrier. And goes P7, 3 minutes 57.945. Good consistency there from Dennis Lopez, staying in the top 10 once again. As we get the Martini. Oh, Hector Rodriguez storms in with a 3-minute 54.432. Brilliantly done there by Hector from Spain. So really, really good to see him. Good to see that Inacio's car has had the front end repaired. As we've now got, this is David Parisot in the other 306 Maxi, the number 28, and that is in the E1 S2000 class. And other drivers out at the moment, Pablo Suarez and HN Vargas as well. So Parisot about a minute into his run. Oh, nice run by HN Vargas in the number 177 Honda Type RTCR. Has gone quickest of all. Okay, get this. 3 minutes 44.956. Oliver Toth, Corrado R210, 3-minute 49.662. That's what you call sending it good and proper. And I'm hoping to see if David Parisot can do a pretty good run here as well in the number 28 Peugeot 306 Maxi. As Nikos Chaknas goes across the line in the E2 SH3000, goes P4 on that particular occasion. So Parisot will be close to the first intermediate. See how the French driver gets on. A bit of sideways action there from the back end of the 306 Maxi. Quite yet having broken the timing beam in the first sector. Has just done so. My apologies there. About 15 seconds ago. It took a little while for it to flash up. 1-minute 50.164. Must have been all that sideways action when David was going through that left-hander, maybe. Who knows? But I digress as always. The thing is that it's all about having a bit of fun, and you know what? It's really good to see these cars up and out there. And a big thank you to the people that have continued to watch, interact, and also have liked this video as well. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the subscription button as well and hit the notification bell whilst you're at it. So David Parisot is on a par with Pedro Rebello, quicker than Adrian Varela. So if Parisot is a bit quicker than the 180 Renault Clio, well, a 306 Maxi is normally quicker than a Clio Sport, Clio Renault Sport 182. You've also got Pablo Suarez, who has, I'm wondering, Pablo Suarez has not yet broken the timing beam for the first sector that I can see, but could do very, very shortly. Ina Garcia is also there as well, and Ina Garcia has gone quicker by over a second in comparison with David Parisot. So that could mean that the number 113 Corrado could end up breaking into the top 5, depending run as, Ina Garcia, Madre de Dios, as they say, completely sideways, and clatters in to the curbing and the wall on the left-hand side. That is Garcia's run, really been showcased. That was a bit of a howler there, I'm afraid. You know, too much speed, possibly a bit of overcommitment, and straight away, and again, the Garcia car's rolled. Garcia car has rolled. Oh my goodness. I think as soon as I said the words Madre de Dios, I think I just that's all I can really say. But Ina Garcia, credit where credit is due, is still going. But in the meantime, David Barriso has gone P5. Okay. Pedro Alvarez in the 180 Clio put in a 4-minute 2.064. David Barriso a 4-minute 0.342. So a very, very good run there from the French driver in the number 28 Peugeot 306 Maxi. Goes P5. A bit of a gap between Barriso and Pimienta in the other 306 Maxi, as Ina Garcia. I think this run will be invalidated because obviously the cut track, and also there is no second sector showing up on the run. So that says to me, that's dependent on timing, and we'll see if Ina Garcia gets a Ina Garcia will be stone dead last after that one, and that is P8 with a 4-minute 20.646. And Mikael Porhansel now comes through in another of the Clios, the number 86. And the first sector is nearly 13 seconds down off of HN Vargas in the Honda Civic Type R TCR. So looking at the way as things stand, Sebastian Horner, and we have also got on the track, on the hill climb at the moment, one of the other cars, and that is Pablo Suarez. He won 2000 class, number 167, as Porhansel goes towards the line. And Porhansel goes 8th place on that particular run there, and that was a 4-minute 4.759. Pablo Suarez 9 seconds down in the first sector, 1-minute 52.746. But interestingly enough, that is 4.2 seconds, nearly 4.2 seconds quicker than, with the best part of 4 seconds, 3.8 seconds, I would hazard a guess, ahead of Mikael Porhansel in the number 86 Clio. As Ullmann takes 6th place in the Fiat X19. That's a 3-minute 56.351 in the Group H Specials. So a very, very good run there. And Suarez is on a pretty good run here. We'll just wait to see how long it's going to be before Suarez ends up heading towards the final part of the hill climb run here at Trieste Opicina. Into the right-hand hairpin sweeper. Nice and neat and tidy from the Corrado. Now into the 90 right. Bit of understeer going through the corner. But Suarez powers the car towards the line. And across goes the car, and Suarez, I think, has gone. I'm just trying to make that out in a minute. That's the thing. Suarez goes P9 in that run. Now we've got the batten down the hatches for the 131 of Victor Cabello, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that car did not have a great run in the first, but manages to get to the line this time and goes P7 in that run. So nice work there by Victor Cabello in the Group Special class. Well, that looks to be everything and dusted. We've had another great set of racing here at Trieste Opicina for the second round of the 2022 Virtual Hill Climb Championship here, live and uninterrupted on GTR 24H. A big thank you for you all for watching. A big thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the third round of the season, which will now head over into Germany. And for those wondering, where is that going to be? I will just let you know exactly where that is, because at the end of it all, we want to make sure that you people out there are informed of what exactly is going to be happening. And of course, you know, this particular, you can see by some of the highlights there, we've had some incidents, we've had problems where drivers have ended up going a bit too overcommitted, let's say, with regards to it all. But the championship heads to Germany in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget, for those watching, those loyal followers of GTR 24H, the next round of the Assetto Corsa Competizione Sprint Series Season 2 gets underway at the famed Hungaroring circuit, not too far off the capital city of Budapest, where you'll be joining both Yusuf Bin Sahil and Kieran McGinley. On behalf of the Virtual Hill Climb Championship coverage here on GTR 24H, my name's Alex Goldschmidt, wishing you a very, very good evening. Until next time, thanks for watching and take care.
The 2022 International Hill Climb Cup Trieste Opicina is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, A-Stick Sim Sport, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.